While Captain Gosling was being celebrated as a hero for his daring raid on Gibraltar, the British planned retribution. Since they could read encrypted German codes, they were able to figure out from Kriegsmarine communications where the infamous captain had docked his submarine. Churchill wanted blood, so he made the RAF organize a raid on Brest to write an end to Gosling's story. Alright lads, we're approaching Brest now. That captain is scheduled for a meeting with the devil, and it's our job to make sure he shows up on time. Once you're over that port, give them everything you got. Do not stop until you've destroyed that. Oh, we got one. Wait, there's another one coming for me. Oh, that one's bad. Hit that thing! Oh. Oh no. Oh god, that thing didn't drop anything on me. Stop harassing! Oh! What if I shot? Oh! Ooh. Last bit of ammo. Oh, it's dead. Let's go, gang. We killed it. Despite their best efforts, Captain Gosling's submarine remained operational. After 2 days of repairing and resting, the crew was ready to go on their assigned patrol. Just a reminder, I have turned up the difficulty settings for my campaign from the last video to make things tougher, so the AI is on hard difficulty. I don't get hints about my detection chance or when the AI spotted me. Torpedoes act realistic, along with the damage I deal and take, and some other things. So when I approach this convoy, I need to be very careful. The Allies have a great ASW tech now, and they're going to be a lot better with it. Long gone are the days of solo merchant ships sailing unguarded. Every interception requires thought and planning, as the Allies have gotten way better at protecting their ships. As I'm trying to get the measurements, the first thing I'm noticing is a lack of stabilization on my periscope. I didn't know how much of a difference that makes in measuring speed. Now, I'm understanding why captains would be firing 3 or 4 torpedoes at a time. You're just guesstimating where the ship is going to be for the torpedo calculator. And that's probably why you weren't launching torpedoes from over 4 kilometers away, because you really are just relying on luck at that point. The escorts are onto my position almost immediately, and I need to think of my exit plan. I go with my usual play of using a homing torpedo to thin out the hunters, but as I launch it, I make a terrible realization. They aren't locking on like how they used to. I guess we've reached that point of the game where the Allies have developed countermeasures to homing torpedoes. If I'm gonna get out of here, it's gonna be through sneaking out. Oh, we took damage?
260 Meter. Sanitäter.
Oh. Oh my god. We're gonna play dead. I can't believe they destroyed us, man. We're so dead now. This destroyer was on me for a long time, but eventually laid off the search. Soon I could surface again and make the trip back to Brest. Another happy patrol. Next, Captain Gosling accepts the mission to patrol off the coast of Portugal. On the way there, we detect a convoy on the way to our patrol zone, so I shadow it to strike it when it enters the mission area. I messed up my approach. I was hoping to get more ahead of the convoy so I can slip in as it sails by me. This One destroyer is annoyingly in my way, but since there aren't any other escorts that close, my new plan is to hit it with a torpedo, blitz to the merchant ships for some tags, and slip away before too many escorts are on me. Yeah, it's a risky strategy, but we're a U-boat in 1943. There are no safe strategies anymore. This looks good. Wait, what are they doing? No! Yeah, nothing burger, alright? Nothing burger, everything's fine. Uh-oh. Please don't turn around. Yeah! Oh, yes! Should have just ignored it. Oh, that's brutal. You are getting a little bit close. I tried again with the Cope torpedo, and once again, it disappoints me. However, it wasn't a complete failure. I remember in 1942, I could completely ignore using sonar decoys, and now I'm using some every mission. They are a real lifesaver. They're also getting more expensive at this point, but it's a tax I gotta pay to get back to port safely. As I look for my next mission, I see a patrol reporting the battleship Nelson sailing near Canada, along with another one reporting it sailing west to Scotland, so somebody is lying to me here. There's obviously no chance I can catch the Nelson if it's by Canada, so I'm gonna check around the western approaches for it. I need to rush to the west coast of Scotland as fast as possible, so I make the brave choice to go through the Irish Sea. 3 years ago, this was prime hunting ground. Now it's so well patrolled, you're not even safe traveling at periscope depth. There's also way more naval activity, so I have to sail around a bunch of large convoys coming to and from Liverpool. The narrowness of the sea forced me to get uncomfortably close to one of those convoys, and it was only a matter of time before someone could see I was sailing nearby. This escort was gonna pin me against the coast, and since that corvette was coming at me alone, I thought I could just fight it and then make a run for it. Fighting it with a deck gun is too risky with that patrol plane flying nearby, so I need to gamble with a homing torpedo. I started sailing away with nobody else coming to look for me because apparently there was another U-boat taking off a lot of heat. So to that U-boat crew who sacrificed themselves to keep the destroyers off of me, thank you. I figured that the battleship fleet is likely sailing to the port of Oban, so I need to search the approaches there for the battleship Nelson. I knew they were around here, but I need to get closer to that fleet so the hydrophone would give me better information than, somewhere in that direction, Captain. My intuition was right. By the evening, we had heard a small fleet of warships that was definitely on course to Oban. I placed myself in a prime position to pounce on the HMS Nelson, who sailed at the back of the line of destroyers. I soon got the measurements for the torpedoes and sent a full salvo at the Nelson. Come on. 2 good hits. 2 good hits. Okay, 1 good hit. Oh! They were too deep. What about these ones? Are these ones gonna hit? Her escorts were scrambling, but the Nelson now sat dead in the water. I figured it wouldn't take too much more to finish her off. From the back and the front. So after launching 6 torpedoes from one location, the destroyers definitely had a good idea where I was and rushed to get me. In these shallow waters, the seafloor is my guardian angel. They could sail right over us and be none the wiser. Meanwhile, the crew of the Nelson is abandoning ship. As the destroyers spread out their search, I saw my opportunity to start my getaway. I did have an uncomfortably close call with one destroyer, but that ship didn't even hesitate when they passed over me. I'm pretty proud of myself here. That was a clean kill. 6 torpedoes launched and all of them hit without even being spotted by the Royal Navy. The mission wasn't over yet. I still needed to do the patrol to sink some merchant ships. This time, when I detected a convoy, I had a perfect approach. I placed myself in their way, waiting patiently for the escorts to pass by and give me the right opportunity to strike. Yeah, oh. Man, I would hate to be on an oil tanker. Aircraft attack. Where are you flying? Is there a carrier? There's a carrier here. Yeah, this whole fleet might be alerted and scrambling to look for me, but I needed to get this carrier before I left. The ships literally cleared a path for me to get closer to the carrier. The game is daring me to take the shot. So with a full salvo loaded, I aimed towards the HMS Indomitable. That carrier was definitely taking on water, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna sink. I wanted to get one last hit on the starboard side of the carrier to guarantee it would go down. I only had one stern torpedo left, so this had to be a good hit. I had to move very fast, so the destroyers were constantly picking me up on their sonars. I had to dump sonar decoys to keep them from pinpointing my location. It wasn't easy, but eventually I positioned myself to launch my last torpedo. As I was getting ready to hit the button, they started abandoning ship, so I just wasted the past 12 minutes doing this. I'm launching the torpedo anyway. Now, you may be thinking I'm screwed since I'm surrounded by destroyers actively looking for me, but I actually got away pretty easily. It kinda surprised me. Once again, Captain Gosling is coming home to a hero's welcome. He gets another medal added to the collection, and this patrol is definitely going straight to the propaganda broadcast. In celebration, Gosling took his crew for a nice vacation in Bavaria. Once they came back, it was back to the usual routine, another patrol in the mid-Atlantic. I've definitely noticed that there are way more ships sailing around now. I didn't even turn up the encounter chance. The Allies are just sending more stuff to the UK for some purpose, I'm sure. I approach from the front as usual and sit still trying to eye up a merchant ship, but these waves ain't making it easy.
Herr Kaloy, feindliche Schiffe machen sich bereit.
Wait, what? They spotted me? No what? Okay, I ain't gonna let one Corvette spoil my hunt. Ooh. Ooh, it's gonna be close. Please, 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 please. It's gonna be hella close. Oh no. No! Homing torpedo saved me. These Corvettes should be super loud. They do only have Corvettes here. Theoretically. I mean, actually, these also. But theoretically. Surface. I'm not putting up with this. We're fighting. Bravely or stupidly, depending on who you ask, Captain Gosling surfaced his U-boat to explode the depth charges of the Corvette hunting him with a deck gun, so it couldn't hurt the sub once he submerged again. Okay, we explode their depth charges. They can't hurt us anymore. Now dive again. Oh my god, they're shooting so many. Oh shit, they actually hit us. It took some time, but eventually the Corvette succumbed to that explosion. However, there was another Corvette about to be right on top of me, and I needed to dive. Although I sailed away empty-handed from that convoy, at least I sailed away at all. That patrol was definitely not a good one for me. I needed a change of pace for my next mission, so when I had the option to land an agent in Canada, I jumped on that assignment. The crew prepared for a long trip across the Atlantic. I wasn't expecting much action on my way over, but the game had other ideas. Wait, what? Oh, guys, gang? Yeah, we've been spotted, huh? What? Hello? They definitely tried to hit me, but I was moving pretty quickly, and the traffic of the large convoy prevented the escorts from swarming me too fast. After that, I made sure to stay submerged at periscope level so I wouldn't risk an encounter like that again. As another quick jab at me, the game said that our cans of meat turned out to be half full, so there goes half of my expected meat supply. Finally, after 2 weeks of traveling, we were in Canadian waters and approaching the spy landing site. There were some patrolling corvettes, but they were completely clueless about my presence, and the spy landed without a problem. All I had to do was leave the area, but I saw some motorized torpedo boats and the urge to bully them was too strong to resist. So I emerged from the sea to chase after them. For a while, until I was forced to accept that they were too fast for me. The worst part is that they don't even know I'm chasing them. They were just going through the motions, because when they heard me send a message back home, that's when they started slowing down to look for me, but at that point I was over it, so I wanted to move on. So for the next part of this mission, I needed to go to the port of Halifax to scout its air defenses, and after reading that order, I know whoever sent this is having a laugh at me. Considering the state of Germany right now, I don't think we're getting the America Bomber project done. I head over cause orders are orders, but this port is so foggy, I can't see anything. As I look at the shore, I'm just thinking, why don't they just lie? It's not like anyone's gonna double check this. I think Captain Gosling thought the same thing, so he just marked 4 random spots around the port and called it a day. Since I'm already here, I might as well leave my mark on this port. There are 3 Canadian ships docked here, and they got to go. Now I know this doesn't do much since they can just raise the ships out of the water, but I just ruined some poor dock workers' week, and that's good enough for me. There was one more thing I wanted to do while I was in North American waters, but first I needed a resupply. As I sailed out the port, we spotted a torpedo boat just sitting still. Probably just to stay out of the commotion they heard in the port, but too bad for them, that commotion is coming for them. I don't know how that boat tanked 6 shells before sinking. It should look like shredded cheese right now. Anyways, after that, I head to the milk boat to resupply my food, fuel, and ammunition, because before I head back to Europe, I have one more stop I need to make. It's time for Captain Gosling to visit New York City. Once again, we have a problem with our food. The cans weren't sealed properly, and now they got mold on them. The German economy is cutting corners, and we're seeing the results. The Americans are too overconfident in themselves. I managed to get into the port without seeing any patrolling ships. I'm coming in on a clear sunny day, and nobody knows a thing. As I get to the actual harbor, I see a few merchant ships docked, and as I sail a bit further in, I even see the Statue of Liberty. The symbol of America was in his eyesight. Captain Gosling knew what he had to do. Now, it doesn't look like you can actually damage it, but it still sends a powerful message. Merry Christmas, FDR! Unfortunately, you can't go any further up the Hudson River because there is a line of mines in your way, so I have to settle for the few ships on my side of this mine line. I left the city without even an airplane flying near me. I was honestly expecting a lot more from the largest port on the East Coast. 2 weeks later, I was back home in Brest, with another 45,000 tons sunk to my name. We're in 1944 now, guys. I am both scared and kind of looking forward to what will happen this year. Harder difficulty definitely keeps me on my toes. So if you want to see Captain Gosling's journey through 1944, remember to like the video so I know you'll want it and other people will see it too. Thank you to my wonderful alumni supporting this content on Patreon. Help me out there so I can continue to focus on making quality content for y'all. There's more good content to come, so I hope to see y'all again. Bye bye!